Hello Phil, I've got your AMC325 on the workbench here. The first thing I noticed is the main fuse, well not the main supply fuse is popped. I have a box of these somewhere but I can't find them, so I've got it bypassed, so there's a fuse in there. You can see the red-black wires are just bypassing the fuse. I did take the entire main power supply board out and check. There's a MOSFET underneath this phenolic cover here. You can kind of see it. It's back down inside there. Usually if the fuse is popped, that guy's shorted, and it's not. It's fine. Tested good. The main power supply, standby supply works. Main supply starts up. So if I turn that on, it is going to make a horrible noise. It needs to be recapped. So this capacitor and this capacitor are probably, this capacitor is the one that's dead because that's the main 18 volt one. It's like a 25 volt capacitor, but it looks a little swollen, so it's probably needs to be swapped. It is making a lot of noise because my screen on my scope also needs to be recapped, so it actually works. But with the monitor hooked up to it, you can see it's very noisy. Now I can inject. I've got this hooked up to where I can inject 18 volts. And it's drawing 270 milliamps, which is a bit low since it should be on right now. And then it's nice and smooth. And the noise goes away. Isn't that nice? I don't know if it comes across on the camera, but it's extremely loud, extremely annoying. So on here, up underneath here, where that yellow one is, yellow clip is hooked up to, is the main 5 volt supply. And yeah, nothing. So we don't have main supply. These are fed by 8 volts, or about 9 volts, 9 volts. That's, you know, that supply up under here is the 5 volt one. I think this one's like 6 and one's like -6 or something like that. But they're all dead. They're not getting powered. They're not getting the input voltage they're supposed to have. That comes from all these bridge rectifier diodes here, generally isolated supplies, through this transformer. So this transformer does not appear to be being driven, which means none of these guys are. So all of these guys are driven by, there's a circuit down here that generates essentially 9 volts, plus or minus 9 volt square wave, like 50-60 kilohertz, that runs all of the primaries of these 3 transformers and the 3 transformers that are in the gate drivers that are underneath here. So it's a common bus that goes to everybody to generate all the isolated supplies. That's not working, so something over here is dead, so you're gonna have to do some further investigation. But yeah, something in here is no longer working, or it could be one of these. I think this is the chip that actually drives the oscillator, so it could be one of these guys is bad. I feel like it's hot. But the 12 volt supply which drives it, which is this guy down in here, I think it's this one, yeah, it's this guy, looks like he's good. So 12 volts is getting to the circuit that generates that 9 volt square wave. So something in here is just dead, so just need to track that down. Now that I know that this is actually working, standby supply and the main supply is working, I can pull it out and just inject 18 volts like I am now on these 2 pins and then power it up. Technically you're not supposed to do that because there's some other stuff you have to trick out to make it think that it's actually turning on. Because I think if you don't want to cause any issues by just directly injecting power. That's why I only turn on the other supply once it thinks it's on. So that's kind of where we're at. It doesn't run. Like I can put it forward and give it throttle, and of course nothing's going to happen because no lights, nothing. It's not getting any 5 volts, so it's dead. So yeah, that's the current update on that. Thanks for watching. Bye.